Number 14, Pregame now. And number 15, Hey Pride. And number 3, Dexter, number 5, Sydney Stack. Number 10, Turner. Number 13, Stack. And number 51, Brian Cousins. All police in the United States, 40 people following the instruction. We want to start to keep this focus. And then the team is followed by the first song. Steve can be over the all high school students. So please, don't forget to sit forward, right now. And the game gets done and all.
Gym, Bill L. Wright Gymnasium for another week of Doniphan High School basketball. We got 4 nights of basketball, all from the Bill L. Wright Gymnasium this week. We start off tonight. The Donettes will be squaring off against the Dexter Lady Bearcats. This is the second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Donettes beat them over in the Twin Rivers Christmas tournament. And the Donettes opponent tomorrow night, they also beat them in the Christmas tournament as well, the Clearwater Lady Tigers. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll have 2 games for you. The girls game will start at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, they'll have a JV game, and then I'll be back to bring you the varsity boys against Clearwater tomorrow night. Big Ozark Foothills Conference games, especially for the boys. Donettes are tied for first place in the Ozark Foothills Conference. Of course, this game tonight, not a conference game. They haven't played Dexter in the regular season in a while, but they got it back on the schedule. And I don't know how long. I don't know if they're just going year by year, but this is the first time Dexter's been here to Doniphan in a few years now. But Donettes beat them the first time, and that was in the second game of the Christmas tournament down at Twin Rivers. They beat Clearwater the first game, and then Dexter the second game, Naylor the third game, and then they lost to Neelyville. And speaking of Neelyville, that was the Donettes' last game, and a tough loss again for them, the second time that they've lost in a very close game. The difference this time, the Donettes had the lead more times. It was a back-and-forth game, a lot of lead changes. The Donettes come into this game with a record of 12-5 on the season, and they have 3 games this week. I mentioned tomorrow night, Clearwater's in town, boys and girls. And then on Thursday, the Donettes will finish up their Ozark Foothills Conference schedule as the Twin Rivers Lady Royals will be here at Doniphan. And the week will conclude with the Malden Green Wave coming to play the Dons on Friday night. But I'll try to remember to do this every time I announce it, but the game on Friday night, the junior varsity boys game is going to start at 5 o'clock. There's going to be a Hall of Fame induction between the junior varsity and varsity game on Friday. So the Donettes and the Dexter Lady Bearcats on the floor taking their pregame warm-ups. And we're a couple of minutes away from our national anthem. And I'm going to take about a 1-minute break, and we'll be back with more. Stay with us here on YouTube, Current River Broadcasting.
Born to be wild? Well, don't let higher fuel prices put a damper on your fun. Get to Countryside Chevrolet in Doniphan today for a more fuel-efficient vehicle and let your wild side ride. Countryside has new vehicles that get more than 30 miles per gallon. Find out about flex fuel technology and check their great lineup of program and late model pre-owned vehicles. Ripley County's largest Chevrolet dealer is Countryside Chevrolet in the Hillcrest Plaza, Doniphan. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
You've heard it all before. We're number 1. We're the best. We have the biggest rebates. Now is the time to skip the hype and come to Current River Ford in Doniphan. They're all about helping you find the perfect new Ford. Current River Ford services your vehicles after the sale. From the moment you drive in, you will receive the quality service you've been missing. With the selection at Current River Ford, you'll find the new vehicle you want. How about getting your next vehicle at a dealership that makes it all about you? Current River Ford, Highway 160 in Doniphan.
Welcome back, everybody. We are getting set for our national anthem, so we'll let you guys listen into that, and then we'll give you the starters for the Dexter Lady Bearcats and the Doniphan Donettes. right, the Dexter Lady Bearcats are going to be in black with red numbers. With red numbers and white trim. And they will start number 5, Sydney Asbury, a 5'1" junior. Alexa Wernick, a 5'9" senior. Carly Kiersey, a 5'8" junior. Dulcie Pullen, a 5'8" sophomore. And Michaela Dodson, a 5'8" junior. I think that's the same starting 5 Coach Eric Seitz used when the Donettes played them down at Twin Rivers. So it's Asbury, Wernick, Kiersey, Pullen, and Dodson. And the Donettes 12-5 will start Jalen Dutton, a 5'5" senior. Addie Jones, a 5'6" senior. Timber Turner, a 5'7" sophomore. Bailey Carson, a 5'9" sophomore. And Emily Eddier, a 6' senior. Donettes in their white uniform, black numbers and gold trim. And the Donettes will go from left to right, Dexter from right to left. And if you noticed, we didn't have Olivia Cruz in the starting lineup. She has a boot on her foot. And she told me, I talked to her, she says she's going to miss a few games. She's hoping to be back next week, if at the latest the first round of the Ozark Foothills Conference Tournament, which begins a week from Saturday over at Neelyville High School. She said that she was hoping to be back next week, but she figured she would miss all 3 games this week. So it'll be Eddier jumping against Wernick. Donettes won a half of the JV game 14-9. Donettes get the tip. And Addie Jones dribbles to the baseline, tries to throw it inside, knocked away and stolen, tried to force it in there. Now she's going to steal it back. Gives it to Dutton, over to Bailey Carson. Carson at the head of the key, back to Dutton, and she'll dribble back to the center of the floor against a 3-2 zone. Left side to Carson, in the corner to Turner. Turner almost got it stolen there by Wernick. Pass in the corner to Dutton, fakes the three-pointer, in the lane Carson dribbles it off her foot, gets it back, in the lane to Turner. She puts it up no good, but she's going to be fouled. That was a good find by Bailey Carson. And foul's going to be on Dodson. First foul in the game, and Turner will have a chance to get the Donettes on the scoreboard from the free throw line. Timber shooting 53.8% from the free throw line. And she makes the first one to give the Donettes the first point in the game. We played 33 seconds. Turner's next is good. And the Donettes set up on a 2-2-1 press. Wernick has it, gets it ahead to Asbury, gets it across the timeline. Dribbles to the baseline, cut off, good defense by Turner. Brings it back out front. Donettes will play man-to-man. Asbury guarded by Jalen Dutton. Dribbles to the right side, hands it to Wernick behind the three-point line. Dribbles to the baseline, and we're going to have a holding foul on Jalen Dutton. If that's any indication, they're going to call it pretty close. And the way Donettes like to get up and body up on defense, that's not a good thing. And bounce pass comes to Wernick. She is their best player. Gives it back out to Asbury. Asbury standing on the Donettes, rolled on the floor. Now she picks up her dribble. Wernick comes and helps out. Left point. Now to Kiersey. He gives it to Asbury in the corner. Wernick dribbles baseline. Good defense by Jones to cut her off. Back to Asbury on the left wing. Going to dribble back out front. I remember her. She's the one that carries the ball all the time, and I don't think they called it but 1 or 2 times the whole game. Kiersey has it knocked away, gives it to Dodson. Dodson back to Kiersey. Going to dribble into the paint, kick it out of the corner. Wernick, three-pointer up and air ball. Offensive rebound by Dodson on the other side, and she's going to be fouled. Sometimes it's hard to get a rebound on a missed three-pointer, especially. That was an air ball. It hit nothing at all. And Michaela Dodson will go to the free throw line for Dexter. Dexter run quite a bit of time off the clock there before they got up a shot. Dodson misses the first free throw. Donettes lead 2-0 with 6:25 left in the first quarter. That one no good, and good block out by Bailey Carson to get the rebound. Brings it up herself, up the right side. In the corner, Addie Jones fakes the shot, dribbles baseline, hands it underneath to Turner. Turner's going to kick it out to Dutton. Donette's got to get out of the 3-second area. Dutton's shot is blocked, but she gets it back. Turner throws it cross court to Jones. Jones is going to be fouled, and that one's going to go on Asbury. That's a second team foul on Dexter. Dutton will trigger for the Donettes. And Asbury gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. A little lazy pass there. Got to get some zip on that. And the one the pass is going to has got to go meet that pass as well. If she went and met that pass, she probably got a foul, another foul on Asbury. Inbounds to Carson. Back to Dutton on the right side. Down low to Edier. Turns over her right shoulder. Her shot partially blocked by Dodson, and Dodson gets the rebound. And we're going to have another foul, and if that's the second one on Edier, they're going to call it on Jones, but that's the second one on her. So Donette's got to get back down the floor when they Maddie Eddington in for Jones, and she checks out quickly with 2 personals. We only played 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and she has to go to the bench. Donette's in the press. Dulcie pulling. And finally, barely get it across the timeline to Asbury before the 10-second time's up. Lob underneath, nice catch by Dotson, but she throws it back out, intercepted by Dutton. She's trying to beat Kiersey, goes down, lays it up, and we're going to have a foul on Carly Kiersey. And Dutton will go to the free throw line. Nice anticipation by Jalen Dutton on that pass. Not really sure why Dotson didn't shoot that ball. It was a pretty good pass, lob pass over the top. Dutton's free throw is no good. And Jalen is shooting 60% from the free throw line. Donettes as a team only shooting 54.7. And it cost them at Neelyville that night. She misses both. Turner gets the rebound. Back out to Eddington. Eddington to Carson. Carson dribbles head of the key down low. Edier is going to be tied up on the pass by Dodson, and it'll be Dexter's basketball. Another forced pass there into Edier. Probably lucky she didn't get her second foul, maybe going over the back. Dodson gives it over to Kiersey. Poland gives it to Dodson, dribbles into the front court. In the corner, Asbury's going to shoot a 3. It's no good. Edier gets the rebound for the Donettes. Donettes lead 2-0, off to a slow start again. Jalen Dutton backs it out to the volleyball line. Gives it to Eddington on the left wing. Back to Dutton. That zone defense has kind of got them bum-fuzzled a little bit here. Eddington lobs it in the lane to Edier, and she tries to pass it low to Carson. It's stolen away. How come she didn't shoot that, I don't know. Ball tapped out of bounds by Jalen Dutton. And Donettes are notorious for getting off to slow starts. Even though at Neelyville the other night they led 10-7, but Neelyville got off to a slow start as well. And Coach Sides has to call a timeout to keep them getting a 5-second call with 4:43 left in this first quarter. It's 2-0 Donettes, and we played a little over 3 minutes, and 2 free throws by Timber Turner's all we got. Had a lot of turnovers on both teams so far. Remember, tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we'll have the Donettes and the Clearwater Lady Tigers. There'll be no JV game. Clearwater, I think, only has about 10 players. And the Donettes, with Olivia Cruz out now, are down to 12 total. That's the reason. Actually, this time, the reason I only played a half a JV game was because Coach Epps wanted to make sure that he didn't use all of his quarters up for his girls if he needed them in the varsity game. It's been being the other team most of the time that they've had to play a JV game for. Dodson will give the ball back to Asbury. Asbury dribbles over to the right side, picks up her dribble, and Dutton all over, and the pass intercepted by Maddie Eddington. Crossover dribble, gives it to Carson. Carson goes down, puts it up and in. She might have got away with a walk. And Bailey Carson gets the first field goal of the game. Great defense by Maddie Eddington. Pullen gives it up to Asbury, up ahead to Wernick. Wernick takes it down, stops, shoots, and scores, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Wernick. And Emily Edier drew that one. A little chancy there with one foul already, but she got the job done. And it's 4-0. Donettes with 4:08 left in the first quarter. Dexter backs up into the, actually now it looks like a 1-2-2, but it's basically a 3-2. Turner gives it on the right wing to Eddington, finds a little path to the basket, goes down, puts it up, no good. And they're going to call a foul on the floor before the shot on Wernick, and that's her second. Lob into Edier underneath the basket. It's going to put it up off the glass too hard. Ball tipped around. And Pullen gets it out to Asbury. Stops and pops a little too hard. Dutton with a rebound for the Donettes. Heads back the other way, 1-on-4. Comes to the right side. Passes down low. It's going to be batted out of bounds by Dulcie Pullen. And now number 15, Maggie McBride, a 5'3" sophomore, comes in for Wernick, who goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Dutton to inbound it. Gotta hurry. Well, they wait so long instead of somebody breaking to an open spot. They know they got 5 seconds. They need to. And the Donettes throw it away. Edier wide open at the free throw line. She turns to look to pass it instead of shooting. She had a free throw wide open right there. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being unselfish, but if you got a shot at the free throw line wide open, you need to take it. Donettes now are man-to-man. And Coach Seitz calls another timeout with 3:29 to go. And the Donettes leading 4-0. It's a 30. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back after this message.
If you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, you need to make a stop at Countryside Chevrolet on Highway 160 in Doniphan. Countryside has one of the largest Chevrolet selections in the area, plus plenty of pre-owned vehicles that go through a 117-point inspection before they're warranted for 12 months or 12,000 miles. The goal at Countryside is to provide you the best deal on your next car, truck, or SUV. See them online at CountrysideChevrolet.com or call 1-800-63-CHEVY. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Welcome back, everybody. The Dexter Lady Bearcats get it into the front court. And during the timeout, number 20, Caitlin Giles, a 5'10" freshman, comes in, misses a jumper. Bailey Carson brings it into the front court. Nice save there by Eddington. And she threw it back in, and Giles couldn't handle it. They also have number 1, Bailey Chamberlain, a 6-foot junior. So Asbury and, let me see. I think Wernick, no, Kiersey stayed in there. Maddie Eddington catches underneath, missed the shot. And Kiersey ahead to McBride, lets the defense run by and lays it in. And Dexter gets on the board. The Donettes really struggling here on the offense to start with. Coach Epps and I were talking about that before the JV game, about how they struggle on offense. Turner's going to take it in, hand it to Allison Skaggs, and she lays it in. Thought maybe an overpass, but it worked out well. 6'2" Donettes. Donettes got to watch out in this full court man-to-man that they don't let their man get behind them like they did that last time. Kiersey up ahead to Asbury. Asbury dribbles to the right wing, goes across court to Giles. Back out front to Kiersey. And she'll throw it back out front to Asbury, and she'll start the offense. Gives it over to McBride, and a 5-second call as Asbury just stood there and held the ball. And we got Chamberlain coming out, and Giles coming out, and Dodson and Pullen come back in. Donettes have Speck in there now. Brooklyn Klepsick, Maddie Eddington, Bailey Carson, and Allison Skaggs. And a bad pass by Eddington is tipped and picked off. They're going to the right place with that, the free throw line, but you got to make sure you can get it in there. Kiersey dribbles in the baseline. Long three-pointers, an air ball. That was on Dodson. We're going to have a McBride fouling over the back. And that'll be team foul number 5 on Dexter. With 1:49 left in the first quarter, the Donettes on top 6-2. Donettes have, let's see, we have 3. We got 1 junior, Maddie Eddington, 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen out on the floor right now. Sydney Speck, Carson, left side to Eddington. Now the baseline to Klepsick, and she lost a handle on it. It's going to be picked up by Dodson. They've got McBride wide open up the floor. She just took off down the floor, but they didn't see her in time. Klepsick had a little butter on her fingers there. She just dropped that ball and almost handed it to the deep end. Backdoor pass, wide open underneath, and Dodson misses the shot. And Coach Seitz really upset. She was wide open coming off the screen. Klepsick, double team, throws it out front to Speck. Speck's going to hand it back to Carson with a minute to go in the first quarter. 6-2 in a very, very low scoring game. Eddington dribbles baseline, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Okay, that's Eddington's first and 4th team foul on the Donettes. They've got 16 fouls on Dexter on the board. I only have 5 marked down, so somebody has more fouls than I've got down. Giles back in the game. Gives it to Asbury. She's guarded by Sydney Speck. Dribbles to the right side. Gives it to Rachel Cobb, another freshman at 5'11" in the game. They've got a bunch of young girls out there now, too. They're pretty young. Wernick's the only senior they have on the team. Asbury dribbles in, kicks it out in the corner. Pulling for 3, no good. Giles with the rebound. She puts it up and in. That makes it 6-4. Donettes really, really not playing well. And another turnover. Maddie Eddington throws the ball behind Klepsick, goes out of bounds. Dutton and Turner are coming back in. And it'll be Skaggs and Eddington checking out. Well, Dexter with a chance to tie. They could even take the lead here with 19 seconds left in the first quarter. This has been ugly. Inbounds pass, and Maggie McBride has to come back and get it. It was intended for Asbury. Speck all over Asbury down into the lane, and I think we're going to have a foul on Sydney Speck. I think Coach Seitz called that one for him as she was riding her a little bit. 10.6 seconds to go. Dexter will inbound over on the right sideline. Cobb will throw it in. Gets it into Pullen, looking for a back door. Asbury's got it on the left wing with 5 seconds to go. Dribbling back towards midcourt. Don't foul her. Don't foul her. And Cobb throws it up at the buzzer. No good. And that is the end of a very, very low scoring and ugly first quarter. The Donettes have the lead 6-4 over the Dexter Lady Bearcats. We will take a 1-minute break and we'll be back here on Current River Broadcasting.
Hometown Pharmacy on LaRue Street in Doniphan, your one-stop pharmacy for all of your medical needs. Our pharmacists are now providing vaccinations for flu, pneumonia, and shingles in the pharmacy. Flu shots are covered by Medicare with no co-payment and no appointment is necessary. Hometown Pharmacy now offers a wide variety of vitamins and supplements from Now Foods that help support and promote optimal health through good nutrition. Refills can be requested online or by using our mobile app. We now offer delivery of your prescription if you live within the city limits. Transferring prescriptions is easy. Come by or give us a call and our friendly staff will take care of everything. Hometown Pharmacy, proudly supporting the Dons and Donettes this season. Come experience the difference a Hometown Pharmacy makes.
Well, we played 1 quarter and 6-4 in favor of the Donettes. It's going to be Donettes ball. And it looks like both teams sending their starters back out. Donettes will have Dutton, Carson, Jones, Turner, and Eddier. It'll be Wernick, Kiersey, Pullen, Dodson, and Asbury for the Lady Bearcats. They stay in that zone. Pass down low to Eddier. He's going to fake, and then she puts it up and in over the top of Kiersey. And that is Emily Eddier's first points of the game. 8-4. And Pullen's going to take it the length of the floor and lays it up and in. And Coach Epps will not be happy about that because he is a stickler for defense. And she just dribbled all the way down the floor, and she's not even a ball handler. 8-6, just underway in the second quarter. Turner bounces back out to Carson. Now dribbles right side, gives it to Addie Jones. Jones back to Carson on the left side. In the right corner, Dutton. Dutton double teamed in the corner. Middle of the lane to Carson. Her jumper is up, no good. Jalen Dutton goes flying in there, and they've got Asbury down the floor. Goes down and lays it up and in, and she took off, and you're going to have to watch that. It looks like to me that they're just taking off when the Donettes shoot the ball. And we're tied at 8-all. Somebody's got to stay back, and Bailey Carson is at 5'10", and Jalen Dutton dribbles into the paint, and we're going to have a foul. Oh, that's going to be the third one on Wernick. And she has to go to the bench. And also Dodson goes out as McBride. And let's see, Chamberlain checked back in. That puts the Donettes in the bonus. Dutton 0 for 2 from the free throw line. And Dexter has tied the ball game on a couple of breakaway layups is what they've got their last two baskets on. Jalen Dutton gets her first point, puts the Donettes back up 9-8. 6:46 left first half. Next one is good. After missing two the first time, she makes two there. McBride gets it in the floor to Asbury, and then she dribbles it off her foot. It's going to be picked up by McBride. Gives it to Pullen, and another timeout by Coach Seitz, and that is his third one he's used already. And I don't think he has any more 30-second timeouts left. Donettes lead 10-8, and he was afraid he was going to get another get a 10-second call, so he burned it, but he is down to 2 timeouts, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. Donettes lead 10-8.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, the Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, and if you're in Ricker County, I've got you covered.
All right, Coach Seitz has used 3 timeouts in just a little over 9 minutes off the clock. We got 6:39 left in the first half, and he has already used 3 timeouts. And most of the time when you do that, if it's a close game at the end, you don't have any timeouts left to call. Maybe he can get away with not calling one for a while, but every one of them he's called is to keep from getting a turnover, all 3 of them. Donettes set up in the press, inbounds pass comes to Asbury. Straight up, man-to-man, full court. Jalen Dutton on Asbury, dribbles it across the timeline. And she traveled and got away with it. Yep. Now McBride with the basketball. Back to Asbury. Left wing, Kiersey, gonna shoot a 3, it's no good. Ball tipped around, and Jalen Dutton had it, lost it, and the shot up by Pullen, no good. And then we're gonna have a foul, I think, on the rebound on Bailey Chamberlain. Coach Seitz up applauding his kids, though. And Addie Jones will be at the free throw line as Donettes in the bonus. That was the 8th team foul. Addie hadn't scored yet. I don't think she's attempted a shot yet. She's got a point now. Donettes 5 of 7 from the free throw line here in the first half. They lead 11-8 now. Hopefully they'll get rolling here in a little bit because it's been sluggish. Jones with that one is good as well. The bounce pass comes to McBride, back to the 2-2-1. They get it in the middle of the floor to Asbury, and I think she traveled again. Coach Epps slapped his hands together. The second one of those she got away with. She carries the ball all the time. Kiersey lost it, got it back, give it to McBride. She hands it to Asbury. Out to Kiersey. Another three for Kiersey, no good. And Timber Turner with the rebound. Gives it to Addie Jones. She lets the traffic clear. Now she brings it up in the front court. She'll hand it back to Jalen Dutton. And they'll set it up with 5:40 to go in the first half. Dutton dribbles to the right side. They're spreading that zone out. Free throw line ought to be wide open right now. Bad pass, but Carson does get it back. Across the court underneath the Jones, and she lays it in. Nice job there by Bailey Carson to see Jones open on the opposite side underneath the basket. Donettes are back in the 2-2-1. Chamberlain in the middle of the floor to Asbury. Lost her for a second, got it back. Gives it to, and I think we just got the second foul called to Emily Edier. I don't think she even touched her. He's calling a blocking foul, but well, Edier's got two now, and Coach Epps looking at the bench to see if he's going to bring somebody in. He's going to leave her in here for a minute. Dodson and Giles check back in. Inbounds pass to Asbury. She's going to shoot a three, and it's good. Yeah, she done that little hop again. I ain't too sure she didn't walk that time, too. Once that ball is picked up, you can't move both feet, but she's done it about 3 times. Turner in the lane to Dutton underneath Edier. Nice pass. She missed a shot, got it back, put it up in the left hand, no good. And Kiersey got the rebound. And she's going to be fouled, and that's going to be a 1-on-1 for Dexter now. That will be Dutton's first personal. Jalen Dutton checks out. Brooklyn Klepsik comes back in. And it's going to be Carly Kiersey at the free throw line. Dexter shot 2 earlier, missed them. And Kiersey's rims out. And an offensive rebound by Dodson. She puts up the jump hook, no good. And the ball lost out of bounds off of Dexter. I don't know, the Donettes just, I don't know, they look like they're running in quicksand. You can't let somebody get, and a bad pass by Carson is going to be picked off by Kiersey. 1-on-1 with Carson, goes down, puts it up, no good. Gets her own rebound. Now it's knocked away by Klepsik and picked up by Carson. Carson dribbles all the way down, and she's going to be called for carrying the ball. Lord have mercy. Turnover after turnover after turnover. Maddie Eddington's the scorer's table to check in. And she's going to replace Bailey Carson. Donettes will set up in the 2-2-1. Timber Turner's right at midcourt in the back of that. She's got to make sure she doesn't let somebody get behind her. And the ball knocked away. Addie Jones at the free throw line is going to stop and pop, and it's good. Addie been shooting the ball much better the last couple of games. Inbounds pass comes to Asbury in the middle of the floor. Going to dribble it up. Back in the corner now to Kiersey. She's going to fire up a three. It's no good. And we're going to have another foul on Addie Jones, and that's going to be Addie's third. And Rachel Cobb and Dulcie Pullen come back in for Dexter. Kiersey and Giles will check out. It's going to be Dodson at the free throw line for Dexter. I think that'll be a 1-on-1. Edier checks out with 2 fouls. Addie Jones went out with 3, excuse me. And she missed the free throw. She's 0 for 3. And they are 0 for 4 from the line. Carson brings it into the front court. Klepsik wide open in the corner, but she had to come and meet the pass. Shot up, no good. Ball batted around, and Dexter's got a run out. McBride's going to go in on the left side, stops and puts it up, and she missed it. She just come to a jump stop and tried to shoot it with the right hand. Dutton back the other way. Ball knocked away by Asbury. And it'll be Donette's ball right in front of the Dexter bench. With 3:40 left in the first half, Donettes leads 16-11. Eddington gives it to Jalen Dutton. Now back to Eddington. Eddington's going to penetrate. Her pass batted out in the corner to Turner. Gives it back to Eddington. Eddington dribbles around the defense, hits Klepsik, and she lays it in. And Dexter did not rotate down, and Klepsik was wide open and a good find. And they throw it over the top. Turner trying to get back. She does. Shot up, no good. Good job to not foul Turner, but got to quit letting them throw that over the top. That was Rachel Cobb with the miss. Donettes lead 18-11. 3 minutes left in the first half. Klepsik open in the corner. Her three-pointer is, I started to say blocked, a little bit of a delayed call on Cobb, and that should be 3 free throws. 18-11, and Brooklyn Klepsik shoot 3. I think it was 3. We'll wait and see here because she was right around the three-point line. Free throw's good. Klepsik got the last 3 points for the Donettes. 19-11, 2:58 left in the first half. And the second one's good. It was a 3-shot foul. And Chamberlain and Kiersey come back in. They also have Cobb, Pullen, and Asbury out there. Klepsik's third one, a little bit long. And Cobb with the rebound. Donettes drop back. Asbury met by Jalen Dutton out at the volleyball line. Gives it to Kiersey, left wing, now baseline to Cobb, or Chamberlain, excuse me. Back out front, pass down low, knocked out of bounds by Maddie Eddington. And I think the official outside point, oh, no, I thought he pointed towards the Donettes. Kiersey will throw it in underneath Dexter basket. Lobs it to Asbury, nice catch, but she missed the shot. And rebounded by Kiersey, and we're gonna have another foul on the Donettes. And this will be a shooting 2-shot foul. Jalen Dutton, I believe, picked that one up. And they call it on Klepsik. That's Brooklyn Klepsik's first foul. And the free throw by Kiersey goes in. That's her first point, and that is their first making the free throw line. They were 0 for 4 before that one. Dodson back in the ball game. That one's short. Just barely grabbed the edge of the rim. And Turner with the rebound. Gives it to Maddie Eddington. Almost outruns the ball, and a nice play there by Kiersey to tie Eddington up. And it's going to be Dexter's ball. On the held ball, the arrow favors Lady Bearcats. Oh, they pointed the wrong way, and Eddington's going to get a layup. Oh, I think, yeah, it was Dexter's ball. He gave the ball to the wrong team. So you take that point off the board. Officials having a rough game too. Dodson inbounds it. Asbury catches. Dribbles to the baseline. Now she's going to come back out front with 2:20 to go. Dodson dribbles baseline, spins in the lane, cross court Kiersey. Three-pointer up and no good. Dodson with a rebound, and we're going to have a foul on the rebound. And Dexter doing a pretty good job on their offensive boards. That one is going to be on Timber Turner. And both teams will be in the 2-shot bonus the rest of the first half, which has 2:14 to go. And this is Dulcie Pullen. She's got 2 points in the ball game. Eyes up the free throw, and no good. Donettes lead 20-12 with 2:14 left in the first half. Really got off to a sluggish, slow start. They've done a little better this quarter, and that free throw's off. Carson gets the rebound. Brings it up the floor. Down low to Eddington, and she loses it. Put it on the floor, and I think it went off her foot. Sydney Speck coming into the ball game. And she'll replace Eddington. Well, the Donettes have both teams have boatload of turnovers here in this first half. Donettes go back to the man-to-man. Just going to pick up in the front court. 2 minutes left. Asbury directing traffic. Chamberlain comes out and catches, gives it to Kiersey on the left wing. Back head of the key to Asbury. She goes around the screen, pick and roll, and the shot up, no good. And that was Dulcie pulling, and she'll go back to the free throw line. The Donettes, boy, they're getting a lot of fouls. That one's going to be on Carson. And that is her first. Addie Jones is on the bench with 3, Emily Eddiers 2. They've been playing without both of those girls for quite some time now. And pulling misses the free throw. If I've got it right, they're 1 of 8 so far. I think I may have missed one. They may be 1 of 9, but and she finally gets one to go. Pulling the 3 points, 20-13. Donettes trying to hang on to this lead with a couple starters on the bench in foul trouble. Nice pass down low to Carson from Jalen Dutton, and Carson lays it in. Get that ball in the middle of that zone around that free throw line or inside it. You can do some damage, and that's what happened that time. Kiersey left wing. Back out to Asbury. Asbury lost it, ball loose on the floor, and another tie ball as Brooklyn Klepsik dives to the floor. It was knocked away by Jalen Dutton. And it'll be Donette's ball this time. McBride comes back in the game for Bailey Chamberlain. And the Donettes have it with a 9-point lead and 1:13 left in the first half. Dutton picks up her dribble, bounces in the corner, and Speck can't handle it. And the front of that zone is giving the Donettes fifth. They're going to have to dribble farther over to the side instead of trying to make that pass from the middle part of the floor because they're just spread. Those 3 girls on the front are just spreading out. And the free throw line's where you got to get that ball, I think. And Donettes have done it a few times, but not near enough. Kiersey, Asbury's wide open three-pointer up, no good. And Dutton gets the rebound. And Coach Epps calls a timeout as Jalen Dutton went to the floor. She had kept her dribble alive, but 50.1 seconds to go here in the first half. Donettes come into this game averaging 48.3 points a game and only giving up 37.4. And they're just about on par for the average, what they're averaging. But right now, they're on course to give up around 10 points or so less than what they normally give up. Coming into the game tonight, Emily Eddier was their leading scorer with 14.3 points a game and 6.9 rebounds. She's the only one averaging in double figures. But if you're only averaging 48 points a game, you've got to play some good defense, especially to be 12-5 and only averaging 48 points a game. Donette's 2-point field goal percentage, 41.5%. Their 3-point is not very good at 20.4, and their free throw percentage is not that good for a team at 54.7. So a lot of things they can improve on, and they need to do so with Ozark Foothills and the district coming up not too far down the road. Dutton with the ball in the center of the floor. Penetrates, that's how you get it to the wing. Klepsik, three-pointer, up, in and out, and tipped up by Carson, tipped up again, missed it, and Speck puts it in, and she's fouled. And that time it was the Donettes that done the work on the offensive board. And Carson tried to tip those in as she went up and tip it instead of coming back down, and she kept it alive. Sydney Speck ends up getting the basket, and she'll have a chance for a three-point play. And her free throw is good. And coming back in the game will be Caitlin Giles for McBride for the Lady Bearcats. 25-13, and the Donettes have almost got them double now with 32.8 left in the first half. Donettes have scored 19 this quarter and given up 9 after that very, very low scoring first quarter, 6-4. Dotson lost it, picked up by Timber Turner. Jalen Dutton ahead to Speck. Speck elevates for the jumper, no good. She gets her own board, put it up, no good, and she's fouled. Nice persistent by Sydney Speck, the sophomore. And that one will be on Giles, her first. And it'll be 2 shots for Speck. Donettes, this will be free throw number 13 and number 14 in this first half. So far, they have made 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of 12. And that, I don't want to speak too soon, but that's way better than their 54.7%. That's 75% right now. Speck's free throw is short. Shouldn't have said anything. .1 seconds left. Second one's good. So Speck scored the last 4 for the Donettes. Donettes back to the 2-2-1. In the middle to Asbury. Dotson, and she throws it over Giles' head out of bounds. And the Donettes will have it with 5.8 seconds to go. They need to get Speck up the floor. Stay back there, Sydney. They got a play they're going to run right here, I think. Carson inbounds it. And they got to get it up the floor. Oh, my goodness, they're not even going to get a shot off. They got it to where they needed to, but it was just a little bit too late. But after all that, Donettes defense has showed up here in the first half. The offense hadn't been great, but they have Dexter doubled up 26-13 at halftime. Go ahead and run down the scoring here, and then we'll take a break. For Dexter, it looks like their leading scorer is Sydney Asbury with 5 points. And let's see, 3 points for Dulcie Pullen, 2 for Maggie McBride, 2 for Caitlin Giles, and 1 for Carly Kiersey. And they were only 2 of 9 from the free throw line in the first half. For the Donettes, shot 14 free throws, made 10. And the Donettes have spread their scoring around pretty good. Their leading scorer is Addie Jones with 6. And then Sydney Speck, Bailey Carson, and Brooklyn Klepsik all have 4. And then 2 points for Jalen Dutton and 2 for Emily Edier. Addie Jones picked up 3 fouls in the first half, Emily Edier 2. Alexa Wernick, who is Dexter's best player and I think leading scorer, she picked up 3 fouls. She did not score in the first half. And I don't think they have anybody else with more than 2. So our halftime score is 26-13. The Donettes lead it. They scored 6 points in the first quarter, 20 in the second. Dexter got 4 in the first, 9 in the second, and it is a 13-point lead, 26-13 here at halftime at Doniphan. We'll take a break for a little bit, and we'll be back with you when we get about a minute to go on the clock for the second half. So stay tuned and listen to some of our advertisers who bring you Dons and Donettes basketball all season long here on YouTube and also on KYEC 88.3 FM. Be back shortly.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
Davis True Value is proud to sponsor the Dons and Donettes for another exciting ball season. Just like the Dons and Donettes, Davis True Value knows hard work wins the game. They are your selection, service, and savings destination hardware store, serving the area with paint, plumbing, electrical, lawn and garden, and housewares. Your local True Value hardware with so much more. From window repair to chainsaw sharpening, we are the store of first choice. Behind every project is a True Value.
Born to be wild? Well, don't let higher fuel prices put a damper on your fun. Get to Countryside Chevrolet in Doniphan today for a more fuel-efficient vehicle and let your wild side ride. Countryside has new vehicles that get more than 30 miles per gallon. Find out about flex fuel technology and check their great lineup of program and late model pre-owned vehicles. Ripley County's largest Chevrolet dealer is Countryside Chevrolet in the Hillcrest Plaza, Doniphan. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
You've heard it all before. We're number one. We're the best. We have the biggest rebates. Now is the time to skip the hype and come to Current River Ford in Doniphan. They're all about helping you find the perfect new Ford. Current River Ford services your vehicles after the sale. From the moment you drive in, you will receive the quality service you've been missing. With the selection at Current River Ford, you'll find the new vehicle you want. How about getting your next vehicle at a dealership that makes it all about you? Current River Ford, Highway 160 in Doniphan.
Hometown Pharmacy on LaRue Street in Doniphan, your one-stop pharmacy for all of your medical needs. Our pharmacists are now providing vaccinations for flu, pneumonia, and shingles in the pharmacy. Flu shots are covered by Medicare with no co-payment and no appointment is necessary. Hometown Pharmacy now offers a wide variety of vitamins and supplements from Now Foods that help support and promote optimal health through good nutrition. Refills can be requested online or by using our mobile app. We now offer delivery of your prescription if you live within the city limits. Transferring prescriptions is easy. Come by or give us a call and our friendly staff will take care of everything. Hometown Pharmacy, proudly supporting the Dons and Donettes this season. Come experience the difference a Hometown Pharmacy makes.
Ask him if I can go back on. Ask Matt. Ask Matt if I can go back on now. Welcome back, everybody. Keith Bowman back at the Bill L. Wright Gymnasium in Doniphan. First 4 nights of basketball here at Doniphan this week. Right now, the Donettes lead the Dexter Lady Bearcats after a slow start. They lead 26-13 as we get ready to start third quarter. I want to remind everybody tomorrow night we'll be on with the Donettes and the Clearwater Lady Tigers about 5 o'clock. And then there'll be a JV boys game, and then I'll be back to bring you the play-by-play of the varsity boys game against Clearwater. Big game tomorrow night, especially for the boys, but the Donettes handled Clearwater very handily down at Twin Rivers. But they handled Dexter pretty handily down there too, and they're not doing quite as well tonight. Dexter's gotten better, and Donettes, to me, sometimes seem to play down to their competition, because the last 2 games for Neelyville, they won one in overtime by 2 points, and they beat Alton on the road by 2 points. And those 2 teams were not near as good as Neelyville, and they played way better at Neelyville the other night, even though they lost. Dexter with the basketball. Dotson gives the ball to Kiersey. Kiersey dribbles into the paint. Out on the right wing, Wernick dribbles baseline, puts up the running one-hander, and she finally gets in the scoring column. That one hit the back of the rim, went straight up and come down and went in. Makes it 26-15. Dexter back. Now they're in a 2-1-2 or a 2-3 zone. They did have 3 on top. Down low, Edier catches, turns, and lays it in. If they get them that easy in the second half, that's pretty easy. A long pass from Asbury to, let's see, was that Dodson? If she'd have went to the basket, that would have been a layup. And she's coming out of the game, and Bailey Chamberlain will come in. If she would have went to the basket, that would have been a wide open layup. It was actually a good pass from Sydney Asbury, but she did not go to the basket, so it's just a turnover. Dutton gives it on the right wing to Turner. Turner, Dutton, Jones, Edier, and they get it into Emily again. Dribbles one time, goes up, she's stripped by Wernick, and Wernick comes out of there with it. And Turner, Carson, Dutton, Jones, and Edier on the floor. And that's what happens when you put the ball on the floor and they converge on you. Wernick. Now to Kiersey at the head of the key. Left side to Asbury. And running the motion offense against the Donettes, man-to-man, in the corner. Pulling. Back to Asbury, and Jalen Dutton strips it out of her hand. Dutton's one-on-one, going to take it down, kick it back out to Jones. 3-pointer on the way, bingo! Addie has been shooting so much better lately. 31-15, and Jalen Dutton with a steal. She just stripped that ball right out of Asbury's hand. 6:10 to go in the third. Kiersey, head of the key, penetrates, kicks it back to Asbury at the head of the key. She gets a path to the basket, goes down, shoots, no good. We're going to have a foul, I think, on Timber Turner. She come over to help. Oh, they're going to call it on Addie Jones. That's her 4th. I didn't even see her around. Huh. We got Sydney Speck coming up off the bench to come in. I'd have swore that was on Turner. And the free throw, no good. And Dexter continues to miss free throws. They're 2 of 10 now. And Jones just hit a 3-pointer. Actually, she's got 9 points to lead the Donettes, and she has not got very many minutes into this game because she's been in foul trouble. That one's short. Jalen Dutton with the rebound. Dutton with her head up, comes up the floor. Circles back around. Bounces down low. Edier going to get it inside, and she scores again. 2 deep position there for him to stop Emily on that. And Bailey Chamberlain had no shot. Wernick, wide open 3. It's off the back of the rim. Speck had the rebound, lost it. It's going to go out of bounds, I think, off of Sydney Speck. Caitlin Giles coming in. And Chamberlain will check out. It'll be Kiersey to throw it in. Deep in the right corner. Gets it into Asbury. Out front, stolen by Sydney Speck. Speck's got Edier on her side, and Speck lost it. He was just getting ready, I think, to pass it over to Edier, and they turn it over. Back to the 2-2-1. Asbury lobs it ahead to Wernick. Wernick feathers back out to the wing. In the corner to Asbury. Hittier all over, bounce in the lane. Wernick open, and she scores from about 10 feet. And she didn't score in the first half. She's got 4 here in this quarter. And the ball is going to be kicked by Asbury as they set up in a 2-2-1 press. 33-17. Almost 3 minutes played in the third quarter. Donettes up by 16 points. 2-2-1 by Dexter. Dutton, and they're going to have a reach-in foul. Going to be on Kiersey. And Jalen Dutton got a watch there on that, trying to dribble right through that zone press. Zone press is better to pass to them. Man-to-man press is better to dribble through. I mean, unless somebody's just wide open. Dutton picks up her dribble, bounces in the lane to Ettier, and she's going to be tied up, I think. That pass was over to the side of her. If it had been straight into her body, that would have been good, but Giles was able to reach around and tie her up. It'll be Donettes' ball on the alternating possession. Dutton to inbound it. Gets it into Speck. Speck will hand it to Dutton. And they're almost playing a matchup zone here. Kind of halfway guarding man-to-man, but it serves the purpose of a zone. Turner in the corner, gives it to Carson on the left wing. Back out front to Dutton. Dutton dribbles over to the left side. Reverses her dribble to the free throw line, and the ball's kicked again. She was trying to get it to Bailey Carson. 4:29 left third quarter, 33-17. Donettes have scored 7 this quarter, and Dexter's got 4. Inbound to Ettier right underneath the basket. She muscles it up but missed it. And Giles gets the rebound. Gives it to Asbury. Dutton right on her all the way up the floor. Asbury backs it out. Gives it to Wernick. Wernick dribbles to the free throw line. Over to Kiersey. She's got an open 3. It's no good. Jalen Dutton, another rebound. Boy, she's got a bunch of rebounds tonight out of the guard spot. Dutton crossover dribble, and Kiersey reaches in and fouls, and that's her 4th. And as soon as she did it, she held up 4 fingers saying, that's my 4th. We got substitutions coming in. That's a 2nd foul on Dexter. Maddie Eddington and Brooklyn Klepsik come in. Dutton and Carson go out. Kiersey checks out, and see, Maggie McBride came in along with Dulcie Pullen. And we got a timeout with 4:01 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I am Doug Green, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
4:01 left third quarter. The Donettes lead Dexter 33-17. It is going to be Donettes' ball underneath their own basket. Carly Kiersey goes to the bench with 4 fouls for Dexter. Maddie Eddington to inbound it. Gets it into Brooklyn Klepsik. In the corner to Eddington, dribbles baseline. Nice pass underneath to Ettier. Goes up for the shot, and it crawls over the front of the rim and falls in. Emily's got 6 points this quarter, 8 in the game. And Asbury with a nice catch there. And she gets it ahead to Giles, and she lays it in. And the only reason they got that layup was because the ball was tipped, and I think the Donettes thought they were going to get it. Ettier, cross-court pass to Klepsik. Wide open three-pointer, in and out. Timber Turner with the rebound. Throws it right to Asbury. Turner just panics when she picks up her dribble. And the shot is up by Asbury and good, and she's fouled. Timber Turner just needs to settle down. She got that rebound. She was out of the lane. All she had to do was just wait on somebody to come and help her. And she wasn't even squared up to throw the ball across the lane. We have Dodson and Chamberlain coming back in. Asbury picked up the 2 points, and she'll have a chance for the 3-point play. And it's off the left side. And the lead is down to 14. Emily Ettier will bring it into the front court. Hands it to Maddie Eddington with 3:10 left in the third quarter. Left side to Klepsik. Baseline to Turner. Back to Brooklyn Klepsik. She's open in the corner for 3, and it's good. Klepsik's got 7. And it's 38-21. Ball in the middle of the floor to Asbury. Passes up in the corner. Wernick trying to answer back, and she does. And she's got all 7 of her points in this third quarter. It's 38-24. It's up by 14. Eddington will get it across the timeline. Reverses her dribble. Is it right wing to Speck. Speck cross court. Klepsik down low to Ettier. Goes up for the shot. No good, but she's fouled. And this will be the first free throws of the second half for the Donettes. That foul is on Chamberlain, her second. And Emily Ettier at the free throw line. She has 8 points now, 6 of them coming in this third quarter. Donettes have made a concentrated effort to get her the ball this half, and it's paid off. First one is good. As we have Pullen and Giles coming back in, McBride, Wernick, and Asbury out there. Asbury doesn't ever get a break. She's a pretty decent little point guard. Eddier's next is good, and she's in double figures with 10 now to lead the Donettes. Back to the 2-2-1. Lob pass across the court. It's going to be knocked. They stole it, and then Asbury's going to steal it away from Carson, and she lays it in. Dexter kind of hanging around. They're down 14. Klepsik gives the ball to Carson. That free throw line is wide open, and Klepsik throws it away. Had to throw it right through the defender again instead of throwing him around him. Pass on the baseline to McBride. Back out to Asbury on the left wing. Now Wernick. Going to dribble down, kicks it out in the corner to Pullen. Pullen hands it to Asbury, but we're going to have a double dribble on Pullen. Donettes with a 14-point lead with 1:51 left in the third quarter. And bounce pass comes to Ettier. Back to Carson. Back to Ettier. Baseball pass, and Klepsik can't handle it. She does save it. And there to pick it up for the Donettes is Turner and Carson. And Carson almost throws it away. Well, they're passing, leaving a lot to be desired, I'll tell you. Jalen Dutton back in the ball game. And Klepsik will check out. Klepsik hit a three-pointer while she was in there. Donettes only have 2 3-pointers, one by Addie Jones, one by Brooklyn Klepsik. Dexter's got 2. Dutton. Back, and she throws it away. And then Dutton steals it right back, and it's picked up by Carson. And going to have a tie-up at midcourt, and it'll belong to Dexter. The team's just turning the ball back and forth over to each other. It's gotten sloppy again, like it was back in the first quarter. Minute 20, going to third quarter. Asbury gives it to McBride, over to Wernick. She's wide open again, and her shot a little long. Offensive rebound by Pullen. Back to Wernick. Tries to throw it in the middle, and it's going to be off of Dulcie Pullen. Wernick probably would have been better off if she'd have shot that. Coach Seitz thought it was off of the Donettes, but it looked like to me it was off of Pullen. Dexter still in the full court press. Turner and Dutton play catch. Throw up in the front court to Carson. He'll let the traffic clear, give it back to Jalen Dutton as we're under a minute to go. Dutton bounces it right side to Turner. Right back to Dutton. Over to Carson. Carson dribbles to the free throw line, and she travels. Wow. McBride gives it back to Pullen. Pullen throws it up near midcourt to Giles. Her pass batted, but Asbury gets it. Takes it to the baseline. Feathers out. Gives it to Giles. Her short jumper no good. Ball tipped back out. And it's going to be picked up by Jalen Dutton with 28 seconds to go. And Dutton dribbles to the free throw line. Shot up, no good. And they're going to have a jump ball again. That could have been a foul on Jalen Dutton going over the back, but they didn't call it. The Donettes are going to get it back. I think Dutton was actually wanting to pass that to Edier, but she never did get open when she penetrated. Lob into Edier, knocked away and stolen again. Sydney Speck standing wide open on the left wing, outside the three-point line, and you try to force it into somebody that's not open. Warnick dribbles into the paint, stops, shoots, missed it, and Edier with the rebound. Got 3 seconds to go. She's going to look up, fired up from half court, and it goes over the backboard. And that is the end of the third quarter. 40-26 is our score. The Donettes outscored Dexter by 1 that quarter and lead it by 14 as we head to the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute listening to Donettes basketball on Current River Broadcasting.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for road trips. We're for covering as much ground as possible on 2, 4, or 18 wheels. We're for drop tops, T-tops, classics, cruisers, pickup trucks, and dump trucks. We're for displaying Missouri plates like medals of pride. Have you ever hit a deer? Yep, we're for you too. We're for getting stuck behind a tractor on a 2-lane highway. And if you're a Missouri driver, we have an auto policy for you.
I am Doug Green, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent, and if you're in Ripley County, I've got you covered.
The phone booth is your one-stop for all your cell phone needs. The phone booth now offers Total Wireless, where you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data for only $35 a month. Need to add more phones to your account? Not a problem. Family plans are also available. You can manage your account in person or online at tpbooth.com. Come see the phone booth next to Subway in Doniphan for all your cell phone needs.
$14-point lead for the Donettes as we start the fourth quarter. It's 40-26 over the Dexter Lady Bearcats. The Lady Bearcats send out Chamberlain, Wernick, Asbury, Kiersey, and Dodson. And the Donettes will send out Addie Jones, Jalen Dutton, Timber Turner, Bailey Carson, and Emily Edier. And Addie's got 9 points in the game, but she has not gotten very many minutes played in the game. Wernick takes it in, loses it on the way up, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Donettes. The ball slipped out of Wernick's hands on the way up for the shot. It was tipped out by the Donettes. Asbury inbounds, out front. Kiersey penetrates over to Wernick, fakes a shot, going to shoot it in the elbow now, too hard, line drive, and it comes off the backboard. Donettes get the rebound. Carson dribbles to the baseline. Back to Dutton. She's going to try a three-pointer. No good. And that one missed about like Wernick's did at the other end. And we got a Hill ball on the rebound. And it'll be Donette's ball. It doesn't look good when you shoot a shot and it doesn't touch anything but the backboard. Addie Jones in the lane to Edier. She has to go get it at the free throw line. Back to Jones. Fakes the three-pointer. Dribbles down, lobs it into Edier. The ball knocked away, and Asbury's going to have it wide open up ahead. Timber Turner does do a nice job of getting back. Out front, Wernick, wide open three, and it's good. And the scramble there led to a turnover. The Donettes just not taking care of the basketball. Too many turnovers. They are very lucky they've got an 11-point lead in this game. Addie Jones is open, trying to answer back. No good. Ball tipped around, and Wernick gets the rebound. Dexter trying to get it under 10 with 6:50 left in the fourth quarter. Pass right side, left side to Kiersey. Dribbles into the paint. Ball knocked away. It's loose on the floor, and it's going to go out of bounds. And Dodson trying to get it. And I thought Coach Sides tried to call a timeout, but I don't think they gave it to him. So it'll be Donette's ball. They didn't have a hold of the ball where he could call a timeout. Carson back to Dutton. Dutton will have it knocked away. Asbury's got a wide open left-handed layup, and she puts it in. Asbury's got 11, and it's down to a 9-point game. And I'm telling you, you don't need to try to dribble through a zone defense, zone press. Edier throws it away. And Coach Epps is going to call a timeout. The Donettes have just lost all focus here. I cannot understand for the life of me when you pick up your dribble and there's nobody really even guarding you and you just panic like, you know, you're going to lose the game if you don't get rid of it in 1 second. And then throw a pass all the way across court and shoot it up into the stands. I don't get it. But anyway, that's where we're at. Donettes lead 40-31, and Dexter's starting to make it a little more interesting here. Donettes had, I don't know. I think they had one time they had a 16-point lead, and it's dwindled down to 9. They actually played a pretty good second quarter, but other than that, it hadn't been too good. Just a reminder that we'll be back tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. The Donettes and the Clearwater Lady Tigers here from Doniphan, and then we'll be back to do the varsity boys game later on tomorrow night against Clearwater. Thursday night, the Twin Rivers Lady Royals will be here to face the Donettes. Friday night, the Malden Green Wave will be here to face the Dons, and that will be a 5 o'clock JV game. Well, Dexter got the ball with a chance to cut the 9-point lead down some more. Dexter definitely has not given up, and that press is working a little bit for him. Asbury gives the ball to Wernick. Wernick comes up for screen, gives it to McBride. Back to Asbury. Long three-pointer up, no good. And Timber Turner runs down the rebound before it goes out of bounds, gives it to Bailey Carson. Carson looking up the floor, hits Addie Jones on the left wing. Back out front, Maddie Eddington checked in during the timeout. Neither team close to the bonus. Addie Jones fakes it, dribbles to the baseline. Now she picks up her dribble. Carson comes to help out. Carson into the paint. Timber Turner was wide open. Addie Jones with a drive, and her shot blocked by Giles, and the ball comes right back to Eddington, and she's going to hand it over to Turner, and she puts it up. She missed it. Addie Jones gets the rebound, and her pass is stolen away. Asbury, she traveled. She got fouled, but she traveled before the foul. Donettes have not scored this quarter. We played almost 3 minutes. Pass in the middle to Turner, over on the right side to Edier. Edier's going to throw it back out to Carson. Donettes need to set something up here. They need a basket. Carson in the lane. Jones wide open. Doesn't take the shot. Back to Carson. Over to Eddington. Eddington dribbles into the paint. They're going to call 3 seconds because somebody's got to shoot the ball or you got to get out of the lane, one or the other. McBride and Giles and Pullen check out. As we have Dodson, Kiersey, and Chamberlain coming back in for Dexter. And we've played over 3 minutes now, and the Donettes have not scored this quarter. Dexter's got the only 5 points. Kiersey dribbles to the free throw line, hits Asbury on the right wing. Dribbles back, head of the key, back to Kiersey. She hands it back to Asbury on the left wing. Gets a screen from Kiersey. Jones knocks it away. Asbury runs it down at midcourt. Gives it to Wernick. Wernick dribbles to the free throw line, out to Kiersey on the left wing. Back to Asbury. Holds on her hip. 4:15 to go. Now to Kiersey. Hands it back to Asbury again. And she holds the ball on her hip down underneath. Pass to Kiersey, knocked away. And we're going to have a, no tie ball. Dexter comes out with it. Long shot put up by Wernick, no good. And Maddie Eddington with a rebound. Comes quickly to the other end. Goes in, and we're going to have a foul. And it's going to be on Dexter. And it's going to be on Asbury. Her second. And Donettes will inbound it. She wasn't shooting it yet. Emily Edier will toss it in. It's in the corner to Turner. Carson back in the lane to Edier. Turns, shoots, and the shot blocked by Chamberlain. Edier forgot to use her head fake that time. She's been doing a pretty good job of that, but That was a nice block by Bailey Chamberlain. Donettes still haven't scored. We've played over half of the fourth quarter now. Warnick over to Asbury. Got a three on the way, and it's good, and it's a 6-point game. That's Asbury's second three. She's got 14 points, and the Donettes better get something going here. They're going to mess around and lose this game. Maddie Eddington with a crossover dribble. Her shot's blocked. Chamberlain got another one. Here comes Warnick back up the floor. Going to take it end to end, and Bailey Carson knocks it out of her hands, out of bounds. And we have McBride, Pullen, and Giles coming back in. Asbury and Warnick stays out there. Maddie Eddington checks out. Jalen Dutton comes back in. 40-34 with 3:09 to go. This is getting way closer than it should be. And bounce pass comes into Pullen. Out to McBride. McBride back to Pullen in the lane. Turns, shoots, and scores. 40-36. The Donettes have got to keep their cool here and not get nervous. They have not scored a point this quarter. Pass to Addie Jones on the right wing. Dribbles to the baseline, goes in and goes up. We're going to have a foul. A good drive there by Addie. Now she got to make free throws. That should be a two-shot foul, I believe. That one is on Giles, her second. And Addie Jones picks up point number 10. Builds the lead back to 41-36 with 2:45 left in the ballgame. That was the first point of this quarter for the Donettes. They've only scored two now, even after she makes the second one. Leads back to 6. It's a two-possession game. Asbury picks up her dribble, gets some help from Giles. Gives it to McBride. McBride double team. Pass to Warnick. Haley Carson on her. Gives it back to Asbury. Asbury dribbles to the right side. Gets some instructions from Coach Sides. Bounces it to Giles. Giles back to Asbury. She holds on her hip again. She likes holding that ball on her hip. To McBride with 2:14 to go. Warnick steps out, gets the ball in the corner to Pullen. Out back to Warnick, now to Asbury. Good defense by the Donettes. Dutton knocks it away, but Asbury gets it back. She's lost her dribble. Gives it to Warnick. Warnick back to Asbury on the right wing, and the ball lost, but it's picked up by Pullen. Back to Asbury. Drives in. Shot up, no good. Ball tipped around. Giles with the rebound. Ball loose on the floor, still loose. And Addie Jones with a nice save, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by McBride. A mad scramble there, and the Donettes get the ball. And bounce pass comes into Jones. She gives it right back to Jalen Dutton. Over to Bailey Carson. Carson has it knocked away and stolen by Kiersey. Kiersey puts it up, and we're going to have a foul on Carson. And again, I don't know how many times I've said it this year. You try to throw the ball right through people's hands when all you got to do is just bounce it down around them to the side, or at least fake that and then throw it over them. They ain't give them a chance to score with that clock stopped. And they miss again. They are 2 for 12 from the free throw line now. So they could be ahead just on their missed free throws. This one bounces around and falls in. Kiersey's second point. Dutton's got to hurry up, and Coach Epps calls a timeout, or they were going to get a 10-second call. Too much dribbling against his own press, folks. You got to pass the ball up the floor against his own press. You have to. And they just about turned it over again. 42-37 with 1:25 to go. The Donettes lead by 5, and they have been outscored 11-2 this quarter. Had a 14-point lead, and they have been outscored by 9, and it is only a 5-point lead now. first quarter score was 6-4. The second quarter picked up a little bit. Donettes got 20 points. And then they only got 14 in the third quarter. But they have outscored Dexter in every quarter for this quarter. And Dexter has made a ball game of it. And a minute 25 is a long time, especially if you keep turning the ball over. And the Donettes are just lucky that they have not made their free throws. And the Donettes have. The Donettes are 14 of 18 tonight from the free throw line. Dexter is 3 of 13. It'll be Donettes' ball. It'll be back in the back court. Not all the way at the end. It'll be about 15 feet back in the back court. And I haven't said much about it tonight, but I really think the Donettes are missing Olivia Cruz because that gives them one less player to come in off the bench. That bounce pass comes into Emily Edier. Dribbles down, picks it up, hands it back to Dutton. Dutton back to Edier, wide open, and she lays it in. Beautiful pass. And Emily Edier now got 12 points. 44-37, 1:05 to go. And Asbury dribbles it off her foot, but it's picked up by Kiersey. And the pass back to her, stolen by Jalen Dutton. Dutton's got Addie Jones on the other side. Jones goes in, and we're going to have a foul on Asbury. And we'll see. They're going to call it on the floor. So the Donettes will inbound it with 57.3 seconds left. Addie Jones will throw it in, way back out front to Dutton. Back in the corner. Addie Jones fakes the three, lobs it underneath the Edier. She catches, puts it on the floor again. Wrong thing to do. And the ball's loose. And another jump ball, and I think this one belongs to Dexter. I'm not sure. Emily's got to quit putting that ball on the floor. Turn and face the basket. It just irks me that they don't know to do that. She's 6 foot tall. She turns and faces the basket, then she can decide what she wants to do. But she slams it on the floor. Asbury drives down, out in the corner. Kiersey, three-pointer, it's good. And we have a 4-point game with 33.7 seconds to go. And why in the world Donettes don't run some clock, I don't know, especially the way they're shooting free throws. 44-40. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back after this message.
You've heard it all before. We're number one. We're the best. We have the biggest rebates. Now is the time to skip the hype and come to Current River Ford in Doniphan. They're all about helping you find the perfect new Ford. Current River Ford services your vehicles after the sale. From the moment you drive in, you will receive the quality service you've been missing. With the selection at Current River Ford, you'll find the new vehicle you want. How about getting your next vehicle at a dealership that makes it all about you? Current River Ford, Highway 160 in Doniphan.
44-40. Dexter has put on a run in this quarter. They have scored 14 points, and the Donettes have only scored 4, but they got a big bucket the last time down the floor, next to the last time. But Dexter just made a three-pointer. Carly Kiersey hit it, and Dexter will set up in the full court press. The Donettes have not handled it great. The bounce pass comes to Edier, gives it back to, oh my goodness, Bailey Carson. She throws it in the middle and hit Timber Turner right in the face. And Kiersey put it in to make it a 2-point game. 20 seconds left. Dutton in the back court, and we're going to have a foul. And that's going to be the 7th team foul, and that's going to send Jalen Dutton to the free throw line. Timber Turner, that was where the Donettes should have been passing the ball the whole game, right in the middle of the floor, and then you can turn and hit somebody coming up the side. But Timber Turner let it go right through her hands. It hit her in the face. Kiersey caught it and went down and shot a left-handed layup. 18.1 seconds to go. Donettes need both of these. And it's a 1-and-1, so she has got to make the first one. She's 2 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. Takes her time, puts it in the air, and it's good, boy. Shooter's touch there. She got the bounce. And Coach Seitz is going to call a timeout. The Donettes lead by 3, 45-42. And you go back past the Neelyville game, the game before that they played Alton, and they won, I believe, 45-43. The game before that they won in overtime on Koshkonong 40-38. And you have to go all the way back to the Fredericktown game before, since they've had a game where they really were in control of the game pretty much the whole game and really got a blowout win. And they could have had one here. They just haven't taken care of the ball very good. It's a good thing that they've shot free throws well. I'll say that. And it's a good thing Dexter is not. Now, if both teams would have shot free throws well, we'd be just about where we're at right now. The Donettes have shot 20. But the reason is Donettes have taken the ball inside a whole lot. Dexter's been shooting a lot of jump shots. So I think we have 18. We'll wait and see the clock counting down on the timeout here. 18.1, I believe. That's what it is. And Jalen Dutton got a chance to give the Donettes a 4-point lead with this second free throw. If not, if she misses it and they get the rebound, they can tie it with a three-pointer. And they've made a couple here. Wernick's made 2 this half. Kiersey's made 1. Asbury made 1. They've actually got about 5 or 6 threes now in the game. Dutton's shot is up and good. That's a big one there. Asbury quickly into the front court with 15. Dribbles into the paint. Out to Kiersey. Three-pointer up, no good. Ball tipped around, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be off of Dexter. Donettes have the ball. 8.6 seconds to go. Maggie McBride coming in for Kiersey. Kiersey's got 4 fouls, so Coach Side's going to get somebody else in there to foul. Inbounds pass comes into Edier, and they need to foul her. They give it back to Jones. We're going to have a foul with 4.8 to go. They should have fouled Edier. They could have saved a couple 3 seconds on the clock. Eddie Jones got 11 points in the game. Emily Edier leading the Donettes with 12. Kiersey comes right back in for McBride. Eddie Jones at the free throw line, still a 1-and-1. That was the 8th team foul. And her free throw's good. But I'll tell you what, I just can't say enough about the Donettes free throw shooting tonight. And that one's good as well. And with 4.8 to go, Asbury's going to dribble it up. Takes it down, stops, and shoots, and it's good. And that makes the final score 48-44, but a nice comeback there by Dexter in the fourth quarter to make this close. They outscored the Donettes 18-8 in that fourth quarter. And our final score, the Donettes 48-44 over the Dexter Lady Bearcats. And our scoring, Sydney Asbury had 16 for Dexter, 10 for Alexa Wernick, 7 for Carly Kiersey, 5 points for Dulcie Pullen, and 4 for Caitlin Giles, and 2 for Maggie McBride. And they were 3 of 13 from the free throw line. That really hurt them. And the Donettes 8 of 8 in the second half, and they were 18 of 22 for the game. After the game at Neelyville the other night, they missed all those free throws. Might have been able to win that game, but they did a lot better job tonight. For the Donettes, their leading scorer, Addie Jones, with 13. Emily Edier, 12. 7 for Brooklyn Klepsig. Excuse me. And then we had 4 points for Sydney Speck, 4 for Jalen Dutton, 2 for Timber Turner, and 7 for Brooklyn Klepsig. I'm not sure I said that. 4 for Bailey Carson, and 2 for Timber Turner. And the Donettes win at 48-44. And they moved to 13-5 on the season. Remember, join us right back here on YouTube tomorrow night at 5 o'clock for the Donettes and the Clearwater Lady Tigers. And then later on tomorrow night, we'll have the Dons and the Clearwater boys. Both games right here on YouTube tomorrow night. Well, thank you for being with us, everybody. This is Keith Bowman. Good night.